So what are we looking for in your film-based analysis and review? You've seen the film in class, or you're meant to have. If you were absent, then you need to rent it and see it on its own. It's very well known, Oscar-nominated 2005 film, Water. You're meant to have seen that. You're meant to have used the textual heuristic that we produced and the film viewing guide that we've produced as you see the film or after seeing the film upon reflection. And doing those things will really assist you in your analysis. It's a group assessment, one of only 2 written assignments in this unit. And it's pretty well, the film is thick with themes that by now you're becoming more familiar with as you work your way through our lectures, Chris and my lectures, and our readings. You have coming up, and you've already done some, you're welcome to read ahead, but we're looking at gender. The film looks at gender. We're looking at social class. The film looks at social class. It's obviously looking at faith and those kinds of very deep issues. And following the marking rubric, which I'll get to in a minute in the next segment, go ahead and do your analysis. Within the confines, or the guidelines rather, of the marking rubric, feel free to do your analysis. I mean, go for it. Take it in a direction that you want, as long as you're also doing the things that we're asking you to do. You can also take a lead from our discussions in our seminars. Some people, although gender as an official topic doesn't come up until a bit later on in the semester, the theme has come up already as we've been talking about it in our tutorials, and in the seminars that the facilitation groups have been running. So seize on what you'd like, again, following the general guidelines, and do an analysis. Again, ultimately, like with all the assignments, we're looking for you to demonstrate to us, as we read and mark these, that you're engaging in the course content and material, rather unit. I use the word course inappropriately sometimes. It's a unit or a class. That you're engaging in the unit material, you're giving it to think, and you're trying to apply it. So try to apply what you've been reading in primary and what you've been reading and then viewing the film as you do your analysis into early childhood and primary contexts. What does this mean for education for younger and primary age children like the girl in the movie? What does it mean in India and Pakistan, but what does it mean here in Australia as well? Remember, let's be careful not to otherize and consider that those are things that happen elsewhere, because these are themes that we all have to deal with as we work with primary aged and early childhood aged girls and boys and families and women and men. So yeah, I hope that helps. The next segment I'll go into the marking rubric in a little bit more detail. Okay, hope that helps. Well, now taking a look in the second and final bit of this video that deals with the film-based analysis and review, I'm having a look here at the marking rubric, something you should be very familiar with as you prepare your group written film analysis and review. Again, we use here a similar meme as in all of our other assessments and assignments. We're looking at thoroughness, what we asked you to do, quality, and timeliness. So again, for specific detail, you need to count on the written document marking rubric for this particular semester and go from there. But I will share generally some of the things that are on here and talk about them just briefly. Is it obvious that you've used the textual heuristic or the viewing guide in your write-up, right? Because there's certain categories in there that we're asking you to look for and look at, and that'll come through in your writing. Also, was it structured around the things we asked you to structure it around? In particular, we're looking for the line, the analytical line, analysis line of maternal mortality, children, life experience, that level of analysis in the developing world. That's one. Another, the use of gender to divide citizens. Or third, differing meanings of education in different economic contexts. That's specifically, following the unit guide, the study guide rather, where we have the details of this assignment. So are you doing one of those things? Or do you have another theme altogether? And if so, what is it? But you should have a theme, an argument that you're taking through, a plan for discussing and analyzing the film. In terms of quality, we're looking for the typical things, right, of a university level assessment or assignment. We're looking for spelling. Have you run the spell check? The grammar check? Is it formatted? I mean, we take that seriously. You're going to be teaching early childhood and primary aged kids. So we want to see that you have a good grasp of how to write well, university level well. So make sure that you've done that. Is there a group voice obvious in your narrative? We believe. If it's a group assignment, we should, hear the word we, and not just I believe, I believe. It's one unified document that you produce as a group. So have a look at that. Is it well argued? Do you make your case well for your take on the film? Do you talk about implications? Are there academic references? And do you follow APA-style guidelines? Something that we use in education worldwide that you should be familiar with. You can spend $80 on an APA-style guide, or you can Google APA and it will tell you the conventions. But it's something I'm sure you're familiar with already. Timeliness. Did you turn it in on time? and that's what we're looking for. Those are the kinds of things. So again, feel free to come and chat with us if you want more details, but that's pretty much how you do the film-based analysis, and hopefully this will help. But again, when in doubt, look at the marking rubric. All right, we can't wait to read these. We bet they'll be just terrific, especially based on the discussions we've already heard from you in both tutorials and lectures. So thanks. I wanted to address one small bit at the end here in the last of 3 segments in this video that deal with the content. Yes, we want you to write narratively. This question's come up. Write narratively. Write in sentences and paragraphs. This is not an outline, bulleted kind of thing. It's an analytical essay assignment. It's one that you're writing out. So have section headings and subheadings if you need to get to that level of distinction. But write it all out. We want to read your words and narrative. Don't expect, an outline to stand for itself. You need to make the case for your analysis. We think this is happening in the film. This is what we think it means, et cetera, et cetera. So you lay that out. So yes, it needs to be in written out. Sorry, bang the microphone. In written out narrative form. All right, that's it. Go get them. Here's the fun fine print stuff at the end. This video is intended for students that are taking my units or classes. This is for supplementary informational purposes only. In any instance where what is said here conflicts with a unit guide, a study guide, a unit rubric, or university or faculty guidelines, they hold sway. Next, after watching this video, if you have remaining questions, set up a time to meet with me during office hours. I'd be glad to talk to you, to meet in person, by phone, or by Skype. But please read all the relevant course information first. Next, this video is produced independently from any institution and is protected under a Creative Commons copyright. Watch it, use it, enjoy it, or ignore it. Just don't change it or sell it. All right, that's the end of the fine print. Thanks.